Okay, so I missed the week last week putting it up, but we are in the dry period of the off season, so it's fine with me because then we can just extend this out at an extra week than I was planning on. But nothing going on here for football, and by the time I finish this, it'll be end of July, early. Well, I guess it'll be around the end of July. So we're gonna do the AFC North. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it. Obviously, again, if you don't know, I've talked about it in 4 videos, but we're gonna get into it. We're just gonna look at everyone's schedule. I do not look at preseason at all. We just look at regular season. This one here is the Steelers. We're gonna start out with them, and they start out against the Niners week 1. Browns having them week 2. Then you have a little bit easier here. You have Raiders, Texans, and then you got the Ravens. You got a week 6 bye. Yeah, it's not bad. That's not terrible. I feel like like week 8 is probably like perfect, but week 6 isn't bad. I have the Rams here. Jags are definitely gonna be tough. Titans you should be able to win. Packers that might be a toss-up game, but you probably should be able to win that. Browns again, first time facing the Bengals. You have the worst team in the league. Patriots probably should be able to. Colts probably should be able to. Then you have the Bengals again. Seahawks and end the year with the Ravens. So the problem is it's so hard to predict like the AFC North as a whole who can beat who. Like obviously you can have teams sweep, but a lot of time they are like 1-1. So they might beat the Ravens at home and lose to them on the road. Beat the Bengals at home, lose to them on the road and whatnot. So we'll just give them 3-3 for that. The AFC North teams just 3 wins, 3 losses. They go 1-1 against everyone. I think that's what I'm going to just do for all 4 teams because it's just it's so hard to predict. And Steelers aren't on paper as good as the Bengals or the Ravens, but they beat them last year. Following year before that, previous years, you've had teams that just aren't as good, but they can beat these other teams that were like, oh yeah, but it's just expected because it's the AFC North because they always have each other's number, and they're always just really laying into each other and whatnot. So I think 3-3 just started out for base for all of them is perfectly okay, just because it's so hard to predict. Now maybe the Browns are going to be bad, and maybe they can a lot of teams can sweep the Browns. Maybe I don't know. I think the Steelers probably have the best chance of going 1-1 against them. I think the Bengals could sweep the Browns. I think the Ravens could sweep the Browns too, but you just never know. So at Seattle week 17. I'm gonna say they lose that. They beat the Colts. They beat the Patriots. They beat the Cardinals. That's what 6-4. We'll go 7-4. I'll say they beat the Packers. I think that's possible. They're at home for that too. 8-4, 8-5, 9-5, 10-5, 11-5, 11-6. I guess that's the ceiling. I could see 11-6 be the ceiling for them. They don't have the toughest schedule. So let's say they lose to the Packers, or did I say they beat? I think they said they lose to Seattle. So yeah, I think the Packers are one of those tight. I don't see the Titans really being much of a pain for them. Raiders probably won't be too. So yeah, I guess the closest game that could go either way is probably the Packers game. The more I look at this, maybe the Patriots, just because it is still kind of a rivalry, not super, but maybe they lose to the Patriots there too. So I think like 11 wins is the ceiling for them. Just if they split with every team in the AFC North, they go 3-3 against the whole AFC North. I think 11-6 is a good like high for them. The problem is, and we'll switch over to here the Bengals, or I'm sorry, the Ravens. This is the Ravens. Oops, I don't know why they're wait. Oh yeah, Texans should be able to beat. They're gonna go again 1-1 against the Bengals. Should be able to beat the Colts. Did they sweep them? I'm going to say no. And then 1-1 here. They should be able to win here. Oh, this is going to be an interesting game. That's going to be decided, like flip a coin who's going to win that one. Should be able to win here. This one, they're at home for this against Seattle. I think they can win. I think Seattle's going to be a decent team. I've gone over them and previous already. I think they will be a decent team. Yeah, 1-1 against probably those teams. Chargers should be able to win. I think you should. Week 13 bye kind of late, but with the way the Ravens are, they might need a later bye. Should be able to beat the Rams. Jags are going to be a toss-up too. I think both teams are good, so I think that's going to be a toss-up. You have the Niners here, should be a loss. Miami's going to be a toss-up. Can they stay healthy? I don't know. If it's Tua and a healthy Miami squad, probably could lose that. If it's not Tua in Week 17, probably should be able to win that. So I think, they have a couple more toss-up games. I think their ceiling is probably 11 wins too. Kind of looking at it. It's just, we don't know how this Miami or the Jags game is going to go. Or, even the Chargers could give them a run for their money. Or Seattle. Lions are going to be a tough one. Like, it's just, they have a lot tougher schedule than the Steelers. They should be able to get double-digit wins, and I think if they don't, it's probably going to come down to who they lose to in the AFC North. I think this is going to be a tough race. Now, cap at 11, for Steelers, cap at 11 for Ravens. So will the Steelers be 8-9? Probably. Will the Ravens have 10 wins? Possibly. I think that I think these two teams here easily can do good. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna skip to the Browns. I was gonna do the Bengals and the Browns last, but I wanted the Bengals last here. So looking at the Browns schedule here, Bengals week 1, Steelers week 2. This one is gonna be a toss up for them just because if Watson's bad, then they're gonna have trouble everywhere. But if Watson's decent, they should be able to beat the Titans. So I think there's possibility if Watson is decent, maybe going 1-2 in the first 3 weeks, probably lose to the Ravens week 4. They have a week 5 bye. I don't like that. And then you come out and you face San Francisco after week 5. Okay. Colts, you should be able to win. Seahawks, I think they could beat you. If you do not beat the Cardinals, there's something wrong with your team. Baltimore should be, again, 1-1. Steelers, I think 1-1. They have the Broncos on here. That's a total toss-up because if the Broncos are good, if they're, they can only go up from here. Like, they're bottom of the barrel right now. If they look decent, if they look good, if Sean Payton really turns that team around, probably going to lose to the Broncos. I don't know if you can hear that. We have water running outside right now. I don't know if you can hear that. Rams should be able to beat them. Jags is probably a loss. Bears, maybe. If Watson is good, then they should win it. If Watson is bad, then the Bears might be able to sneak a win here in week 15. Have the Texans here week 16. You should be able to win that. Probably lose to the Jets, and then you have the Bengals week 18, which is probably us. They have the Hall of Fame game this year against the Jets. Huh, interesting. So I think they're maybe like a 9-win ceiling. I think so. Like there's a lot of teams where it's like if these teams are good, they're gonna beat the Browns. If they're bad and Watson's good, Browns should win that. But if teams are bad, Watson's bad, then it's just gonna be like flip a coin. I don't know what else to say. I don't know. Then we move on here to the final team, the Cincinnati Bengals here. In my opinion, probably the best team to win the AFC North, but the Ravens are neck and neck with them. I think Steelers are a little bit below, and Browns are probably gonna finish in 4th. But it's just you have a tough division, and I think there's possibility where Bengals could sweep the Browns. I think they will go 1-1 against the Ravens, especially that wild card game last year against the Ravens. People coming out saying, hey, if we had Lamar Jackson, we're on to the divisional round. So I think if it's going to be probably 1-1 split with them. So that's, 3-1. Rams, you should win. Titans, you should win. Cardinals, you should win. This could be an interesting game, and I think they should be able to win it. Then you have a bye, and you go to San Francisco after the bye. I think they could win that. I think they could. I think they could really just go on a stretch here after, like, let's say they lose to the Ravens here. Maybe you struggle with the Browns, you lose to the Ravens. You go 1, 2, 3, 4. by 5. Bills are going to be interesting. We're going to have another really interesting game. This is obviously a rematch of the divisional round last year. So I think they could beat them. That one is Sunday night. Oh, okay. Okay. Texans week 10 should beat them. Again, maybe you split, so maybe this time you win against the Ravens, or you win at home against the Ravens or whatever and lose here. Steelers, maybe you go 1-1. Again, it's just that it's so hard because all these teams just like want to kill each other and want to just beat each other. So that's why it just feels like everyone's just going to go 3-3. Maybe the Browns go like 2-4 or 1-5, but like 3 teams here, it's just like, yeah, like they're probably gonna go 3-3 against the rivals. Jags is gonna be a tough one, and you have to go to Duval, but it's Monday night, so you're not gonna have to deal with a lot of heat. It's December, gonna be Monday night game, so that's not gonna be a lot of heat. So I think you could win that one. Colts, you should be able to win. Vikings, ooh, okay, I think they should be able to win this one. That'll be interesting. Pittsburgh Steelers, again, week 16. You have the Chiefs, which is scheduled for 4:25 right now. This might get pushed to, Sunday night. And maybe they win that one. Well, you have to go to Arrowhead. Maybe you lose at Arrowhead, maybe. Again, just like you did in the AFC Championship game. But gonna be a real tough one. So I think the ceiling here is probably like 14 wins. Like 13 wins, 13, 14, like max. Probably gonna be closer to 10 or 11, just because again they might go 3-3 with their division, or maybe they're get swept by the Ravens or something like that, and they go 2-4. But I think Vikings is winnable. Chiefs, obviously you're one of the best teams going up against the Chiefs, so I think that's winnable, but that's gonna be a tough game. Steelers should be double winnable, you never know, but Colts should be winnable. Jags should be winnable. We'll see how that team looks by week 13. We'll see how both teams look by week 13. Ravens are going to be tough. Texans should be winnable. Bills are going to be tough. Niners are going to be tough. But you're going to have 2 weeks to prepare for the Niners. So that's kind of a nice thing coming off the bye. Yes, you have to go to their stadium, but you have them. Seattle should be winnable, but you never know. You're at home for that game, but you never know. Cardinals definitely should be winnable. Titans should be winnable. Rams should be winnable. So yeah, there's a lot of games that should be winnable. It's just going to be, are they? We don't know. So for now, like the video, share the video, don't subscribe. Yeah, I took a week off, but hey, I guess you could just say we had a break in between going from the NFC to the AFC. Let me know your predictions for the AFC North teams. Let me know, next week, next Wednesday, we'll put up, I think it's the East. Yes. Next week, we're going to do the East here. So we are going to end in the West. So we're going to go East next week. Following week is going to be South. And the final week is going to be the West. So that one, I cannot wait for the West. That one's going to be so fun to record. But for now, I already signed out of here, and I'm out of here. Peace.